Roxo Media House.
Ball with a touch pass, Miles touches it back over to Miller for the lay-in good. That's as good as it gets right there. Ball never hit the ground for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, right alley to the left alley to the bucket, and there's Emmanuel Miller. I mean, so athletic. That's speed right there.
You are in the State of the Frogs with head coach Jamie Dixon. Brought to you by Railhead Smokehouse, by Hub International, Dave's Hot Chicken, Texas Health Resources, and by Cadillac. Now with the head coach, here is the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome into State of the Frogs with the head coach Jamie Dixon as we come to you live here at the Courtside Club at Schollmeyer Arena. The Horned Frogs sitting at 14-3 on the season. The head coach is alongside. It's our first of several of these visits with Jamie. And I tell you, the one thing that stands out with your team right now is one, the camaraderie, the way that they play with. The other is the versatility that they play with as well. You got to be proud of the start here.
Well, it's funny. I just got out of the weight room. They were up there lifting, and they were making fun of each other and joking back and forth and all different things, which, you know, you got to be close to be able to do those things, and that's what was going on. So, yeah, we like what we're doing. I mean, obviously, it's we just come off a win, but we know that the league is you got a great win, but you got to play somebody real good right afterwards. So we can't get too high on the wins. I think that's something we've really tried to emphasize, handling success, because we got a quick turnaround in every game this year.
You know, when the season started, people looked at your roster and saw what was returning and went, wow, you got to keep everybody happy. That hasn't been an issue. I love that about this
Well,
group.
we've had injuries, we've had guys out, and we've had, you know, guys opportunities maybe early, and you know, we had Mike out these last couple games. So, you know, there's some challenges that come along the way, and things that you can't really predict, and you have to adjust. And you know, that's what we try to keep our guys always ready and trying to give them just enough so that when that time comes and we really need extended minutes, then they're ready to go. But you can't predict everything, and you got to be ready for anything that comes your way.
That versatility that we talked about enables you to kind of play any game they name. You know, you can get out in transition, you can run. Your half-court sets have been effective. Your defense, I know you said you want to continue to work on it, but it's been pretty salty.
Yeah, the numbers are good. I mean, obviously, our with the stats, and we're looking at overall, but we've gotten better in the defensive end, especially last game. But we've had our breakdowns, and you know, we're playing good teams, so there's going to be some things that they do too, and adjust, and we've got to handle that well. And then if we're not, we got to make the adjustments. We got to try a different rotation. We got to try different guys, and have the response. So you know, with the numbers you're talking about of guys, that we have some options, and you know, we got to play 3 different guys at the 5 spot. If we need to go smaller, we can play bigger on the perimeter with Jacoby and Emmanuel, and we can play 3 guards too at the same time. So it's again, we feel like it. Now, of course, we need everybody out there. That hasn't been the case all year long, and we were almost there last game, so everybody's talking about it, excited. But you know, we got to be ready for some. Again, like I said, there's always something thrown your way.
You know, you think about it. Injuries have forced some of this. You played what, 10 or 11 different starting lineups this year, and you sit at 14-3. That doesn't always happen when you've been forced to play that many lineups.
Yeah, I think we had first 10 games we had all different lineups every game, and certainly not by design. But you know, we had a unique setup with our roster, and had to adjust, and I still don't think we're playing our best basketball. We have to keep improving, and I know the areas we can improve in. But the thing that's been great about this team, and you know, you talk about the summer and what we wanted to get better at. We wanted to cut down turnovers, and we want to get more transition baskets. Well, we clearly have done that to a level of the best in the country, in both almost. So you know, that's a great sign. So defensively, you know, we made some adjustments this last week, going and having guard ball screens, and I think it made us a little better in our last game, and we'll see how it goes forward.
Let's talk a little bit about the tempo, because I think you are falsely at times accused of being a half-court guy. Or at least during your tenure in the Big East.
You have to be good in the half court to win offensively. So you've got to perfect it. You've got to work at it. You've got to be able to score in the half court. But you know, this is a team that can get out and run. We've got 2 point guards out there, and really a third when we bring in Hadi. So we're not without a point guard. You know, ever really, except early in the year, obviously. But I think that's part of it. Our wings can run, and really a big underrated part maybe the outlets that we're getting Eddie, Xavier, Jacoby, and Emmanuel, as well as the wings that getting outrun. But it was it's been a process, and it's been a challenge and getting the guys to run. I mean, they thought they were running, then we showed them tape, and it's like, this isn't the run that we're talking about. So, it's hard to get 5 guys running. That's what a fast break makes.
Yeah.
And, I think back Desmond was great at getting out and running, but we didn't have, 4 others. And that's, that's what factors in. I mean, if you got to beat as we say, you got to beat you don't want to be the last guy down, offense or defense. And we want to be in 5-on-4 situations, either offensively or defensively. And we're really good at finding the 2-on-1 side.
Yes.
I mean, we've worked on 3 on the basic fast break drills that maybe didn't use enough, but I think they really brought a improvement to it and understanding. We really broke down every little aspect of the fast break this summer.
Yeah, great non-conference wins here to start the year. You had wins over Iowa and Cal and Providence and Utah, and you beat SMU obviously over at Dickey's. I mean, you had to be proud of that schedule you put together and how your team handled it.
Yeah, I mean, we know what's coming with our league, and we know we'll end up with a top 20. Last year we were 5 in the country, or 6, I think it was, as far as strength of schedule. So there's a balance to it. We have a unique setup with the league, and we just balanced. But we got the wins that we needed to on the road and in the tournaments, and we just got to keep taking care of business at home. That's really the thing that you have to do. We've got to do a better job on. And when I say a better job, that's like never lose at home. And we've had some situations in the years that we've lost games that we can't lose, and to be where we want to be or where I want to be. And so I'm trying to get that message across, establish that home court and establish that home court advantage. And we've got to do it every game, not some of the time. And we're close, but we're not there yet.
Wins over Tech, obviously, here at home, as well as the last with Kansas State. Got one on the road at Baylor.
Yeah, we played well there. I think in the second half we responded. I mean, teams are going to make good teams are going to, and they're all good teams. We'll start with that. But they're trying hard and they're trying to win, and we forget that. And they're top 4. I mean, like they're top 40 in the net, every one of them. So you're going to go in stretches, and they're going to have a run, and whether it be the first half, second half, and you just got to respond to it. You got to limit it, and you got to make it tough, and you're going to miss some open shots, and that's oftentimes we want to be the team. Our only problem, maybe some takes runs, because maybe we miss some open shots, because that won't continue all the way through. We just got to keep defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. 14-3
overall, 3-2 in the league. The State of the Frogs is the name of the show. I know you've strived for perfection.
Yeah.
How you feel right now at 14-3?
Well, I mean, we won the last one, so feel good about that. I liked how we did it with the transition offense, with the defense. The rebounding still quite not where we want it to be. We didn't make threes, and we still won by a good margin. So, that's a good sign. As I said earlier, we don't want to be relying on shooting to decide our outcomes. The defense, rebounding, and transition needs to be the constant.
All right, we got more with head coach Jamie Dixon coming up. But first, Chuck O'Bannon, the senior from Las Vegas, stops by. We'll learn more about Chuck and his winding road here to Fort Worth. We'll do that when State of the Frogs with the head coach Jamie Dixon continues after this timeout.
The Hub Fort Worth family is a passionate, energetic team of insurance professionals that have the same common goal in mind: helping businesses and individuals protect their health, property, and financial well-being. Their objective is to maximize the options available to businesses, families, and individuals while helping you make the choices that suit each unique situation and challenge. Their clients look to them for guidance in navigating the cumbersome world of insurance and investments. Their experience and personal relationships combined with their creativity enables them to craft solutions that fit your specific circumstances. Their guiding principle is, don't tell me how much you know, just show me how much you care. Since their founding in 1966, they've enhanced their offerings to include a comprehensive range of services, including employee benefits, property and casualty, and personal lines insurance. Follow them and learn more on their social media pages. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Hub Fort Worth. Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse.
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com.
Texas-based Happy Water offers the best-tasting, sugar-free kids drink ever made. Happy Water comes in 4 delicious flavors that you can find at local retailers and on Amazon. Each pouch contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 calories, and 0% juice. Head to happydrinks.com for more information and to purchase Happy Water. That's HAPIDrinks.com. Live happy, be happy, drink happy.
Penetration right now slapped away by O'Bannon. Noel was on the push. Here's O'Bannon, strong to the rim for the layup, good. Chuck O'Bannon scored. Transition working it.
State of the Frogs with the head coach Jamie Dixon continues now as we dive a little deeper into one of the great players here at TCU. Chuck O'Bannon joins us right now, the Las Vegas native. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well. How we doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for carving out some time with us before practice. I want to dive into a couple of different things. You and I over the years have talked a lot about your path here to TCU. And I think I've asked you this before, but you grew up in a basketball family.
Yes.
I mean, was that set in stone that if Chuck was going to play sports, you were going to play basketball?
I can't even say that. You know, when I first started off, I wanted to play football. You know, growing up, I saw my uncle playing football.
Yeah.
I love the contact, you know, so I always wanted to play football. And then when I reached about 7 or 8, my parents told me that's not happening. You know, this is a basketball failing. This is what you're going to do. And, you know, I was okay with that.
Yeah,
so.
I bet 5-star player coming out of high school. But did it come easy to you? Was basketball easy?
At first, it was pretty easy. You know, I was just taller and faster than everybody. And then once I got to middle school, it became a little challenging, and you know, I took on the challenge.
Yeah, and one of the things I've noticed too is you elevate your game. Big games, big players that you're matched up with.
Right.
Chuck takes his game to the next level. Am I right there?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, I've always loved the big stage growing up. You know, the big stage is, you know, that's how guys make it in their life. So I always try to make those games the biggest games. We
were joking earlier. You grew up in Vegas. You went to Bishop Gorman,
Yes,
right?
sir.
The Gales.
Yes.
See how about
Yes.
that? I knew that. You went to Bishop Gorman. You played in all those big arenas in Vegas. We were
Right.
talking. We were not naming them all. You've been on some of the biggest stages. So games don't intimidate you anymore, do
No,
they?
not at all. Not at all. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a playground for me.
Right.
You know, it's what I want to go out to do, to have fun, you know, entertain everybody watching, all my family back home.
The other thing I noticed is I think you feed off the crowd a little bit too, don't you? I
Yes.
mean, I've noticed that over the years.
Absolutely. You know, I feed off the crowd cheering for us, and also feed on the crowd that's cheering against us.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I like that one just a little bit more.
Yeah, I can imagine. Chuck O'Bannon's with us right now. All right, Chuck, let's dive into a couple of other things. This team right now, the way it sits, they've kind of proven that you can play any game you name. You guys can run in transition. You can play in half court. You can dive deep on defense.
Right.
I mean, you get that sense as well?
Absolutely. You know, we felt since the beginning of this season that we're one of the best teams in the country. So we just want to keep showing everybody that there's nothing on the basketball court that we're not very good at.
You know, Brandon Parrish, our friend who won the NIT here, came by the other day and sat in with us on the broadcast in the win against Kansas State. I thought he used a good word. He said, man, this team is versatile.
Yes.
And that's true, isn't it?
Yes, very versatile. You know, because we have all the pieces that we need to have a good college basketball team. You know, from top to bottom, from the 1 to 5. You know, from our shortest guy to our tallest guy.
You could have left after that Arizona game. You could have gone.
Right.
You could have gone to the next level. You didn't do it.
Right.
How come?
You know, I love it here, you know, and I wanted to come back. I wanted to do something more special. You know, we almost made it to the Sweet 16, but we knew we could have made it much further, so we felt that if we came back, we could do something even more special, and that would just help everybody else's future.
Isn't that amazing how you found a home? I mean, you were at Southern Cal, you had the injury, you're battling a hand injury, you had the finger injury, you come to TCU, you get healthy.
Right.
And it does feel like home all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Brand new home, you know. I've always been scared of Texas growing up. You know, even the first year I was here, I was still kind of scared of Texas.
Were you worried about cows or horses or what?
I don't know. You know, it's just the country scene. You know, I've been a city kid my whole life.
Right.
So, but, you know, it's pretty cool. It grew on me. It grew on me fast. And I love the environment. I love the campus. You know, everybody around here. It's great relationships. I'm very happy I made that decision.
I think I know the answer to this, though. Do you have any cowboy boots?
I don't.
I knew that.
I don't.
You still don't have any.
Nah,
I mean, we're running out of time. We're going to have to get you some.
I don't see that happening.
You don't think so?
I don't see it happening.
But you'd be 6'9" in them.
You know, but I don't need that.
Exactly.
I don't need. I don't know if the cowboy boots is for me.
Tell me what's happening as far as academically for you. What that looks like right now.
Okay, academically, I graduated with
Right.
my bachelor's last year in May.
Yep.
And right now I'm going after my master's.
Working on the master's
yes,
right
sir.
now. Yeah. After basketball's over with, what's Chuck O'Bannon want to do?
I want to stay in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do something related to basketball. I don't necessarily say I want to coach. I kind of want to be one of those behind-the-scene guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't see coaching being too bad.
No.
You know, I think I could do a very
think you'd
good
be
job.
good at it.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
I tell you why I say that too, and one of the things that I really admire about you is we all know you can score.
Yes.
We know you can shoot the three, but there are times this year when you said, you know what, I'm going to take a step back here. You know, I got other guys that are hot right now.
Right.
And you go out and what do you have, like 4 or 5 assists in the last 2, 4 or 5 blocks in the last 2 games.
Right.
I mean, you've been getting after it on the defensive end, and you said, here's how I'm going to contribute.
Yeah.
And I admire that about you and your game right now.
You know, right now, Mike Miles, Damian, Emmanuel, they're playing great basketball. They're scoring the ball very well. You know, it makes our team look even better. Last game, Eddie had a tremendous game. And, you know, obviously I'm a shooter on the team, but as of right now, offensively, you know, we don't really need me that much.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to affect the game in any other way possible to stay on the floor.
Isn't that amazing to you, even how your game has changed,
No,
to now, how
absolutely.
you've improved defensively?
For
What do you
sure.
attribute that to?
I just want to be a complete basketball player. You know, I don't want to just do 1, 2 things on the court. I want to be able to do everything and do everything well.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you're doing it right now.
I appreciate that.
I tell you, it is rock and rolling. You got West Virginia coming up on Wednesday,
Yes.
and then you go to Kansas as well. Back-to-back road games, which in years past have been tough for TCU. But tell me why this team's different.
This team's different because, like I told you, we feel that we're one of the best teams in the country, and now a lot of people are starting to see that we're one of the best teams in the country. So we're going to come in, we're going to practice hard today, we're going to prepare for West Virginia, get on the plane tomorrow, and hope for the best.
Chuck, you're one of the best, man.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Chuck O'Bannon. By the way, do we really know with COVID and everything, are you a senior?
Yes.
Are we sure?
I'm a super senior.
A super senior.
Super senior.
I like that, man.
Yes,
And
yes.
next year he might be a super senior. Who
Man.
knows? Yeah. All right, we got more to come. Coach Dixon's going to come by. We'll preview West Virginia and Kansas with State of the Frogs. With Coach Jamie Dixon continues after this timeout.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
The winter sun. It's a ticking clock where shorter days mean a precious countdown has begun. So chase the sun and seize the season, because when the days are at their shortest, it's on us to make them the fullest.
Get 3.99% APR for 60 months on most 2023 Cadillac models. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today for this attractive offer.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Welcome back in with the head coach, Jamie Dixon, for more here on State of the Frogs. I'm Brian Estridge. All right, so you got a big couple coming up now. West Virginia on Wednesday night, Kansas on Saturday. I want to hit on a couple of individuals real quick, though. Emmanuel Miller may be playing his best basketball of his career right now.
Yeah, no, you expect him to get better, improve. A little injured, sick to start the year, just wasn't the same guy, and certainly not what we had seen in the fall with practices. So there's the explanation right there. But certainly the last a few games getting out and running in transition. I think a little bit more active around the rim on dives and offensive rebounding, and then taking open shots too as well. So I think we've done also a better job getting the ball in the right spots, and that's on me for the right spot for him. But I think we kind of had to get him back in the mix and feel as good as we did about him. So he's playing hard, he's practicing hard, and obviously he's a very good player.
And a guy who's changed his game, much like we just visited with Chuck O'Bannon. And I bragged on Chuck for the fact that, hey, here's a guy, if his offense isn't clicking at the level that he wants it to click, what does he do? He has 4 blocks in 2 games and, steals the basketball and has really cranked up his defensive pressure.
Well, you need to play, and that's what we had to get across to him. You want to play minutes, you got to defend, and that's what we need to have. And he's gotten better at it and still can get better, and that's what we're trying to get across to our guys. But he's got good length, good size, he's in better shape, and so those things should improve with it, and then a better understanding what we're doing. So, we've been good for stretches. We need to be good for 40, and that's a hard thing to do. But he's a veteran, and I ask him to be a leader too. And I think that's something he's not probably used to in the college, but he needs to be, and he's got the personality to do it.
I know I'm biased, but I would not trade Mike Miles and Damian Ball for a pair of guards in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I think offensively they played really well last game, and defensively as well. I mean, I think that they can be those two, and because of their defense, but it's not a given in every game, and we thought our guards' defense was not as good as it needed to be in Texas, but it was in the Kansas State game, and and a lot of it's team defense and different things, but there's certain things that we just can't have, and gambles or mental mistakes were way too many in certain games, even in some wins. But we're trying to be perfect, and that's a hard thing to be.
Yeah, coming off the 14-point win against Kansas State in the last outing, Frogs led by as many as 25. Turn their attention to West Virginia now. Coach Bob Huggins' team sits at 10-7. It's a completely new roster. He'll go 10 or 12 deep with this thing, though.
Yeah, he's always played a lot of guys, and there'll be a guy that doesn't play that plays a lot out of nowhere. They've done that for years, and again, they're still getting the ball inside. They're still trying to be physical on post-ups, and certainly they're getting into you defensively, very aggressive. A team that is they're going to foul, and we know they're not going to call every foul, but we've got to be strong with the ball. We've got to not get rushed. We've got to do what we want to do. We got to attack the open side, and we've got to be patient but ready to attack at the same time.
Trey Mitchell averages 13 and 6 for him. Pretty good player.
Yeah, big guy. Not many teams have their big guy leading in scoring, but they're doing it, and they get scoring from the inside, and their plays are set up to get the ball inside. He's versatile, can step out, and certainly been play a lot of basketball over his career, so at different places. But he's dangerous because bigs that shoot it concern us like anybody, but we've got to be able to adjust to what position, because he could be the 4, he could be the 5.
This is about your 20th trip back to the Coliseum.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I mean,
there was a stretch where I think we weren't in the same league back in the.
Did you still play the ball
ACC?
back and forth?
I think it was off for a year or two or something. Yeah. We tried to play in New York one time, and it didn't work out. But with scheduling and you kind of can't all of a sudden schedule the next day when things happen. So I think as we went to the ACC, we were out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And,
always tough games though there.
Oh yeah. No,
tough place to play.
It's they're always good, and we're always good. So we're gonna have some good ones. So certainly a great opportunity.
All right, Kansas then on Saturday. You go from Morgantown to Lawrence. I mean, back-to-backs like this in this league make it really, really hard.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of them, but a couple. And this situation, we're going to stay on the road and go and do that because of the early game Saturday. So and the distance. So it's it'll be a little different than what we're used to, but. Last year we obviously had some challenges with more challenges and have had it over the years with the COVID. But this is certainly an interesting road trip because they're two tough places to play and two places that we have been in close games that we got to find the way.
Jalen Wilson's a really good player for Kansas.
Yeah,
20 points a game.
Been around, played a lot of games, a lot of minutes, and certainly playing in high-level games and practicing against high-level players across the board. But it's amazing as good as they were last year. They Adam McCullough, take one of the best players in the league, add him, and all of a sudden they're old again, and that's just how you gotta stay good.
The guy that stands out for me, DeJuan Harris, has 106 assists already.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at it yet, but no, he's the true true point guard. Yeah. He's not into the scoring as much as your present day guards seem to be, and so he was a highly recruited guy from the area. They loved. I think he's surpassed what they thought he was going to do this early in his career. But guys that give the ball up and want to get others involved and guard, they're valuable, and they make everybody better, and that's what he does.
All right, two tough ones coming up for the Horned Frogs here. West Virginia and Kansas. We'll be back with you next week to review those ball games, look ahead, because this is the toughest league in the country. Every week we're going to say that, right? And you would want nothing else, right? The Horned Frogs.
No, I mean it's what we signed up for. It's what we tell recruits, so we can't lie to them.
Exactly.
We got to tell them what it is and prepare them for it. And it's just it's and we say it, and then it's even tougher the next year, which is hard to predict and hard to believe at the same time.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's Jamie Dixon. I'm Brian Estridge. Thanks for joining us. State of the Frogs here with the head coach, Jamie Dixon. See you back here next week with highlights of that road trip, West Virginia and Kansas here from Frogs Today. Until then, have yourself a great weekend.
Roxo Media House.